So what's that? Do you have any guesses? Set of skis maybe? An overland shower? How about now? This is in fact the 180 wingman awning from Latitude. But why have I fitted it like that? Because I'm smarter than I look. Check this out. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a CROC hinge. And by deploying that hinge, that awning goes from being on the roof rack, no wider than the vehicle itself, to being in its standard position. It's awesome. So like I say, this is the 180 wingman awning from Latitude, and that is where most people would see themselves fitting it. They come with brackets. I will deploy the awning shortly to show you guys because it is a really, really cool product. They do a 270 and a 180. Since learning that my roof rack is just over 2 meters long, I figured that a simple 90-degree awning coming out there wouldn't quite be enough. By having a 180, you end up with an extra triangle here and an extra triangle there, which will go in part to covering that door and that entryway and potentially a little bit of the tire table setup. That's how most people with the brackets supplied would have their awning. It's a tiny bit plumber's tube, don't get me wrong, but check this out, and it will make a reassuring bang on the way down. Absolutely wicked. And it has that overland look to it. It has that, what's he got on the roof of there? I am considering getting the shower awning room as such to go on the other side with another set of CROC hinges. That roof rack is now coming into its own. I'm going to show you when I get that out how you can make use of the little cargo rings, because you need to use a strap to strap that 180 around. But I just love how that looks being sat on the roof and not to the side. Let's take a closer look at those hinges. Actually, my first time walking on the base rack, and considering nothing spans from one side to the other apart from the braces themselves, they're absolutely rock solid. Let's take a look at these soap suds. I washed this van before making this video for you guys, so it's more pleasing to the eye. Perhaps that's worth a subscribe and a like. Check this out. I have made use here, under there, of some of these, and basically removed the hook, removed that eyelet, and replaced it with a stainless nylock nut and bolt. These things work an absolute treat. They are load rated to 35 kilos a set, and I believe that awning is about 25 kilos. Questions that I foresee. When it's in its down position, does it rattle when you drive? No, it absolutely does not. There's enough weight on this awning, and obviously that gas strut is in its shut position. I've never heard it. I've been driving around with this for about a week now. Not once have I thought, what's that noise? If what you used this for did somehow vibrate, perhaps a little strap, a little Velcro wrap around might see you good. Another question. We're putting a massive awning out, 2 meters plus each side. Will the wind try to lift it back up? Potentially. And that's where you get one of these if you need to. You put that in there. Have I got that the wrong way around? You put that in there. And then you get a split pin that comes with it, like this, and you feed that through the tiny little holes in each end. I've only brought one up the van with me, so then that can't come out. This also works hand in hand if you want to leave the awning or whatever you choose to mount in the upright position. Totally solid, short of the fact that I would put the extra split pin in there. So that is a CROC hinge, and I think they're fantastic. You could use it for anything. If you want to mount some max tracks, you want to mount a shower awning, like I said, or an actual awning. So strong, so well made, so well thought of. Got no doubt in my mind that someone over here will say that they can make them themselves. I'm not all about that. I love the brand appreciation. That is the OG CROC hinge all the way from Australia. Small, veteran-run business in Australia. Cost a little bit in shipping to get it here. It's just one of them things. You can't always be on the doorstep of where a great creation is made. I love them. I think they're absolutely cool. Now it's time to show you this awning from Latitude, because I think it's going to work wonders on a van setup such as mine. In fact, before I jump down, I am going to try my hardest to one-handedly fit these, because I know I'm going to want them. Look at that. Once I'm happy with the location, I'll probably just, I was going to say squeeze a screwdriver through, but look at what I made earlier. And that's done. That is a tie down point that you'll see why I've put that there in a second. Those things are absolutely wicked with that dovetail system. One at the back here. This might not be their forever home. I might decide to put something else in its place and I have to alter where I put it. But that's the beauty of them. It's totally easily modular. So from the top, let's take a little look at deploying this bad boy. Open the side door, makes life a bit easier. Jump up, she's open. I'd probably go ahead and say I would shut the side door maybe. Open sesame, or open sesame, apparently, since the world of the internet. There's a couple of straps. I appreciate there's a lot of black on black and you might not see everything. That will release. I do see a stool in my future. Around we go. Seems a stool is a must. It's because it's so lifted and big and manly. This is where our hook comes into play, because you'll get a plastic coated like ratchet eye that's got one of those quick draw on the other end. Can I reach? I know you're there. Yep. So it basically works on tension. Let's replicate that on the other side, I believe. It's starting to take shape. There are a couple of little things in here. It just help create a pitch, and that's why this bit is kind of double layered. Yeah, liking that. When you think about my van, or when I think about my van, I think of a Jeep or a Troopy, Pajero. I know it's a van, and I know it's made by Ford before you drop it in the comments, but that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to break the convention of a Fiamma pullout or a Thule or whatever. I'm trying to break convention. This is proper overland style design. It's freestanding. So on a nice calm day like today, that's it. Short of lights. Let me show you the lights. I've had to plug it into the van just to show you guys. I think we've got, oh yes, that's what I'm all about. The orange glow. The orange, that's what I am all about. That's overlanding now, guys. No concerns about doing wiring and stuff like that. It's just a plug and play. I'll probably get myself a little 12-volt external outlet and just lock that in every single time. We have a main switch on here, and then we have color change and I'd imagine on off, yeah. So you can have one on or both on or none on. I think that looks so cool. Things that I need to do, because my rack is inboard, and that is another reason why I like the CROC hinge so much. This leg here would give me an option, but obviously doesn't give me an option. So I will get rid of that, because that's just a problem waiting to happen. If someone was to deploy that by accident, it would just hit the van and hurt it. These legs, I've told you it's freestanding, which is fine. If the wind was to pick up and you were concerned about the stability, because it's a large sail, you know, that's, if the wind picks up under there, you could be in deep trouble. These are twist locks. Twist it to the floor, twist it to lock it. You get tent pegs and things like that. Do that on both sides. You've pegged it to the floor. Then it comes with guide ropes if you need to as well. So the tension between pushing up and pulling down, it's going to go nowhere. It's going to go nowhere. I think it's fantastic. I love it. What are your thoughts? And there is one bonus thing to show you, and this was by design, but also I need to address a little bit of a situation. I went for tailgate, I went for a 180, trying to create a 270 overland setup. There is a problem, but not a big one. Let me show you this. Check that out. I have now created a full 270 wraparound where the awning, any kind of excess water, would drop onto the tailgate and fall away. My only problem is it opens a little bit higher than the wingman itself. So I have got some apparatus which is being fitted to the tailgate. Once I've sorted that, if it still opens too high, all I would probably do is get myself a tether from this point here to the buckle where the tailgate shuts on itself. Look at that, that shuts a dream now. I think this is the start. Well, it's not the start, we're far from the start, but that is going to be epic on my adventures. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get using that. Could you see yourself using a setup like this? I can.